Okay, well, welcome back to another yoga practice. So this is week 3. This will be yoga practice 6 and 7. So these are going to be the same video. You just have to do them twice. I just do the same video so you kind of get to know these poses. You get to know the routine and that sort of thing. So yeah, do it twice. Make sure you put that sign up. It's actually very helpful if you put it up close to the camera. Initially, hold it for about 15 seconds, a good 15 seconds if you can. Again, your name, first and last name, the date that you do it, and then the yoga practice number. So this would be YP5, and then the second time you do it, YP7 for this 3rd week. And then yoga practice 8 is your choice. You can go on YouTube, choose a yoga video of your choice, at least 30 minutes. Up to an hour. You can always do this one again though. If you want to do this one again, feel free. Just this would be yoga practice 8, right? Okay, let's see. Just make sure you have some water handy. Also, if you're on a hardwood floor and you know your yoga mat, they are pretty thin. They don't provide a lot of padding. I actually have this. I picked this up at I think at a garden store for gardening, so you can put your knees on this. So I just put this for my knees because my knees are kind of sensitive. So just a little extra padding for your knees if you want something like that. You can always do that. Also, next class I'm going to introduce the yoga block. I just wanted to, you don't have to go out and get this, but you can, is to get a yoga block. So I've got several different yoga blocks here if you want to. So these all 3 here are the same size. They're just a little different. This one's very cushiony and soft. These are a little bit denser. This one's pretty heavy. This is out of cork. And this one with the stripe down is very dense, very hard. So it can provide stability for you for different poses. The yoga block's supposed to help for different poses to make you comfortable. Also, if you can't get to the floor, it can help you reach the floor and that sort of thing. This one is a little bit thinner, same height as these others, but just a little thinner. I actually use this for a pillow sometimes, so you don't have to. You could use like a book or a pillow for some things. I mentioned that last time. You can use a pillow for your head if you want, but just if you'd like, these are some tools that we use for yoga. Also, if you have a strap or a towel, we'll use that at the end for some stretching. And there's different sizes to the yoga block, just so you know. So this is the smallest size. You put it down like this. You can put it up like this, okay, or even up like this. So you could use it several different ways, okay. Again, I'll go over it next time. All the different things you can use a yoga block for, all right? So if you can, they do sell them everywhere, just like mats. You know, they sell mats almost everywhere now. Same with yoga blocks too as well. All right, so I've been watching your videos. They look great as far as the time lapse. Again, I just want to make sure you're doing it. It's like an in-person class. You just have to be doing yoga 3 days a week for this, since it's 8-week class. My 16-week in-person class is twice a week. So since this is 8 weeks, we got to do it 3 days a week. So hopefully you're planning out like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Just setting some time 3 days a week to do some yoga, to get these yoga practices in, okay? I think that's everything that I wanted to announce here. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure you're in hopefully a quiet space and you got some room to do some yoga here. So let's go ahead. The first thing I like to do is get in the right frame of mind for your practice, is to let everything go. You want to let everything go that's going on in your life before this practice, but after your practice. You want to let all that go, be in the present moment. So again, a good way of doing that is focusing on your breath. So again, just lay back, comfortable position. If you want to sit up, you can. I like to lay back. I'm just going to lay back. I'm going to use this yoga block here for a pillow for my head. And all I want you to do is just to focus on your breath, right? That inhale and exhale. Just focus on your breath. And I have my knees bent, but you can always put your legs out if that's more comfortable. I prefer my knees bent for my low back. It helps me, my low back here, so it's more comfortable for me. So in yoga, we like to breathe in and out through the nose if that's possible. You could try it, see if you like it. I personally like to breathe in through my nose, out through my mouth. Also, you like to use your diaphragm to breathe, so that's your stomach rising and falling. I just put my hands on my tummy, on my stomach here, just to feel it rise and fall. But it's actually just not your stomach, it's the sides, even my back. I'll push my low back into the mat when I inhale. You can even hold your breath, maybe for a moment there after your inhale, before your exhale if you'd like. Also, if you're having trouble focusing on your breath, letting outside thoughts come in, maybe just try counting your breath. Count your inhale, count your exhale. If you match your inhale with your exhale, it's called equal ratio breathing. So you can maybe count of 3 or 4. Just inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Just pause and hold. And then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe just hold the breath. And then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just continue on your own count. If you want to go more or less, try it on your own. And remember just to let go of any expectations, right? It's always a new practice, new day. Let go of any expectations. Let go of any judgment, any competition, just how you're feeling today. Always make sure you listen to your body. Do what feels right for today's practice. Make adjustments, modifications if you need to. You don't have to do anything if it doesn't feel right. I do progress these yoga practices to show you some more challenging poses. If those don't feel right, just go back to things that are modified from your knees, that sort of thing. You can always go back in this position to rest. Go in child's pose to rest at any time. Good, so just slowly go ahead and bend your knees if you don't have your knees bent already here. And I'm just going to slowly start to sway my knees side to side. Just nice and slow, just some very small ones to start here. Continuing to focus on my breath. I'm not going to forget about my breath. I still focus on my breath. You can let those knees go more and more towards the floor if you'd like. So your feet can be together, your knees together. Your feet could be about hip width apart. Your feet could be as wide as your mat. All different variations here. You can try either one. See what one feels good for you. Feel free to do that one here. I like to start with the knees together. My feet about hip width apart. And then what I like to do is I like to open up my hips. So I'm on my right side, I'm going to bring my left knee over, and then my right knee follows. I'm on the left side, I bring my right knee over, and then my left knee follows. I just kind of like to do that just to kind of open up my hips a bit here. Again, don't forget about the breath. Also, I forgot to mention, but I mentioned it before, is music. You play your own music in the background, whatever you'd like, whatever works for you. Play some music. Again, I don't play it just because I don't want it to disrupt you hearing me. I know my last video was in the classroom and I played music in the background. I hope that was okay. Again, I just showed you that video, did that video because I wanted to show you kind of what it looks like in the classroom in person. That's at City College, that last week's video. You can always let both knees rest to one side. If you wanted to do that, you can. Just a little spinal twist to start out your session, the yoga practice. You could do that if you'd like. I actually like to cross my legs, one leg over the other, all the way so there's no space here, and then I like to continue, just adds a little bit more to it here. So I'm just going to do that for a few here. Again, continuing to focus on my breath. And then I'll just switch to the other leg here for a couple. Here, you can do the same if it feels okay for you. Good. You can just go ahead and come back to center. Uncross the legs if you have your legs crossed. And then just go ahead, inhale one knee to your chest, exhale it. Exhale, relieve that knee, foot to the floor, knees bent, and then just bring your other knee and just going back and forth here. Just inhaling, bringing one knee into chest, exhaling, releasing it. Or just go with your own breath here. If you want to extend the leg all the way down, you can do something like that, all the way down your mat here. I like to just keep my knee bent. I like to just bring my head up too as well. You can, or just rest your head on the mat. Again, these are all different variations here, just going with your breath here. Again, just trying to kind of get some blood flow here. Just nice and easy. I'm going to extend the leg up in the air here. I'm just kind of pulling a little, not much. It's not much of a stretch. I'm just kind of extending my leg. Do what you can here. Again, you can rest your head on the mat if that feels better for you. Always go back to swaying the knees side to side again. If you want a little bit more of that, feel free to do that. Whatever you'd like here. Okay, then I'm just going to bring both knees to my chest here. I'm going to hold on to my knees. You can, you don't have to. I'm just going to sway side to side just a little bit here, just nice and easy. Again, continuing to focus on your breath. Don't forget about the breath here. Good. I'm just going to bring my knees together here. I'm just going to circle my knees in one direction, so I'm just going to circle them around here. Just nice and easy. Just making some small circles. Good. Then I'm just going to go the other direction, so circle the knees in the other direction. Good. Just bringing those knees back to center. And then what I'm going to do is just circle the knees in opposite directions. So the knees are going to circle away from each other and then come back together. Circle away from each other, come back together. Circle away from each other, come back together. Good, then just go the other direction, switch directions. The next time those knees come together, just go ahead and hold it there and maybe just pull those knees in a bit more to your chest. Hands on top of the knees, or I like to do it underneath my knees and pull a bit more. I'll bring my head up, chin to my chest here, just Kind of curling up an old ball. I like to move my head side to side just to kind of warm up my neck a little bit here. Also circle my ankles around, wiggle my toes a little bit, wake up my feet a little. Good, I'm just going to release my head to the mat. And I don't like my head on my pillow anymore or on the yoga block here when I go up into bridge pose. So you do what you'd like. Feet straight ahead, feet on the mat with your knees bent, hands by your sides, palms down. And then big inhale, push your low back flat. You tilt your pelvis by pushing your low back flat. And then just go ahead and lift up your hips in bridge pose. Again, this is called bridge. And it's our first one. We're not too concerned how high those hips are. Your weight's on the back of your shoulders, not on your head or your neck. Feet and knees pointed in the same direction, just straight ahead. And you'd like your feet or ankles underneath those knees. So if you're way out here with your feet past your knees, just kind of walk your feet back just a little bit towards you. Just so your feet, ankles underneath those knees here. Again, this is just called bridge. Just taking a few deep breaths here. And just on your next exhale, let's just lower those hips back down. Roll your back down, one vertebrae at a time though. Upper back, mid back, low back, bring your hips back down. Let's go ahead and bring your knees to our chest again, head up too if you want. But you can always keep your head on the mat if that feels better for you. Again, I like to move my head side to side a little bit, warm up my neck. Again, wiggle my toes, ankles. Good, release the head to the mat, release those knees, feet to the floor, knees bent here again. We'll go up into bridge pose again, so just hands by your side, big inhale, push your low back flat, lift your hips, bridge pose. And if you'd like to lift up those hips or try to lift up those hips a little higher, I personally like to bend my elbows, hands pointed straight up at the ceiling. What I do is I push the back of my arm into my mat so I can try to push my hips up a little higher. Some people also like to lift your chest and open up your chest and shoulders, squeezing your shoulder blades together in your back here. You can also think about squeezing your glutes here. Just make sure your feet, knees are in the same direction. You don't want your feet angled out. You'd like your feet straight ahead, knees straight ahead, bridge pose. Good, then I'm just going to move with our breath. I like to move with the breath. That's kind of vinyasa, flow with the breath type of yoga here. So let's just go ahead and exhale those hips down. Roll your back down though. Bring the hips back down. Let's inhale, knees to chest. Bring your head up too if you want. Exhale, release the knees and head. And inhale, lift the hips. Again, exhale, lower those hips back down. Good, inhale, knees to chest. Good, exhale, release the knees and head, and inhale, lift the hips. And there's no right or wrong. When should I be inhaling and exhaling? So if you're inhaling when I say exhale and vice versa, don't worry about that. Just go with your breath here. There's no right or wrong. Just go with your own breath here. Again, you can think of squeezing those glutes at the top, open up the chest and shoulders in bridge pose. Exhale, back down, inhale, knees to chest. Again, I'm just going with my own breath here. Good, how about the next time you come up into bridge pose, just hold it there. And see if you want to try to lift up those hips even higher, open up the chest and shoulders. What you do is squeeze your shoulder blades together in your back. What some people also like to do is take your hands underneath your hips. Some of you might be able to clasp your hands underneath that. If you can, great. If not, I'm not the best at it. I'll just kind of bring my hands together underneath my hips, just to try to open up my chest and shoulders. Think about squeezing your glutes here. Just taking a moment, bridge pose. Good, then we're going to just involve your arms now. So just arms by your sides. Let's exhale those hips down, arms up overhead. Let's inhale those hips, come back up, and arms back to your sides. Exhale, lower those hips, arms up overhead. Good, inhaling, lifting those hips, arms back to your sides. Exhaling, lowering those hips, arms up overhead. Inhaling, lifting those hips, arms back to your sides. And again, it doesn't matter when do I raise my arms and hips, just whatever comes natural to you here. And if you just wanted to focus on bridge pose, forget the arms, you can do that. If you just want to do your arms, forget the hips, you can do that too as well. Good. The next time you bring your hips back down, just go ahead and bring your knees to your chest. Again, you can bring your head up too if you want, chin to your chest, just curling up into a ball. So again, hopefully we're getting warmed up here, getting some blood flow going, got our core warmed up here. And this is where I like to do some core exercises. So with your knees and feet up here, let's just start with crunching up into a ball. So you're just going to put your hands behind your ears to support your head. I don't like you to clasp your hands because I don't want you to pull on your neck. Just support your head. And what you're going to do is try to bring your hips up off the mat and bring your head, shoulders, torso coming up off the mat too. So again, it's like you're trying to crunch up into a ball. So you're going to exhale up, inhale, back down. Exhale up, inhale, back down. So, again, just think about crunching up into a ball. As you crunch, think about your abdominal muscles should tighten up. You should feel a contraction in your abdominal muscles here when you come up. Again, do what you can here. If you ever get tired, just put your head back, put your feet down, take a breath or two, rest if you need it. Once you've rested, you want to try a bit more if you want. Feel free to rest anytime you'd like. If you want to continue with this one, feel free. If you'd like to break this up, so that one's kind of, in the fitness world, it's called a total crunch or a double crunch. Now, if you want to just emphasize your lower abs, what you do is rest your head on the mat and then just focus on lifting your hips up off the mat. So you're just going to try to exhale up and lift those hips up off the mat. Inhale, back down. Exhale up, inhale, back down. Exhale up and inhale, back down. So try to just use your abdominal muscles to lift those hips up off the ground here. What you don't want to do is don't start swinging the knees and swinging the feet here to get your hips up. Try to just use your abdominal muscles here. Exhale up, inhale, back down. Here, hands by your sides. I need to sit on my hands. I got some low back issues, so I feel it in my low back a little bit, so I just like sit on my hands. It helps to support my low back when I do this one. So exhale up, inhale, back down. Exhale up, inhale, back down. And do what you can. I don't lift my hips up too high. If you put them by your side, you feel like you push a lot with your hands. You can just put your hands on top of your head too as well. Again, rest anytime you want, right? Rest anytime. Just put your feet on the mat, rest anytime. And then here we'll go upper abs here, feet on the mat, knees bent. So we're just breaking up that total crunch into two different ones. Reverse crunch was the hips up, and this is just a crunch. Arms can go across your chest if you want, or hands, fingertips behind the ears to support your head. Now push your low back flat to the mat. Push it, you don't want that curve. Push that low back flat. Here, bring your torso or shoulders up, head up, and exhale up, inhale back down. Exhale up, inhale back down. Again, exhale up. Inhale, back down. If you can, try to keep your shoulders, head up off the mat the entire time if you can. Keep that low back pushed into the mat too the entire time if you can. Of course, rest anytime you want. Just sit back and rest. I'm going to add a little bit of twist now. So what I do is I bring my elbow to my opposite knee. I bring that foot up, elbow towards the knee. You don't have to touch it. Exhale up, inhale back down. Exhale up the other side, inhale back down. Again, try to keep that low back pushed into the mat the entire time. Exhale up, inhale back down. Again, as we go through the semester, I like to show you, add more things to poses, make things maybe a little bit more complicated. If you want to try it, you can. If not, you don't have to. But on this one, if you want to add a little bit more, bring both feet up off the mat, and as you twist, you extend that opposite leg. Twist, extend the opposite leg. Now, extending the opposite leg is too much. What you can do is just bring that heel towards the mat, just touch it down here. Again, push the low back flat into the mat though, and bring it back up. Exhale, and bring it back. Again, you can extend it out, or just tap that opposite heel down to the mat. Again, rest anytime you want. Get water anytime you want. Then you can try one more core exercise, going back to crunching up into a ball. The very first one we did, we could try that again. See what that feels like after doing all those other core exercises. You should definitely feel that in your abdominal area. Go back to the twist if you'd like. You can add the twist to that crunching up into a ball if you want. So you try to crunch up into a ball, then twist. Good. Whenever you had enough, just put your arms up overhead. Put your legs straight out. Just really reach, reach, reach up overhead. Really reach, reach, reach. Stretch down those legs all the way down the mat. Really reach, reach, reach. Good, then just bring your knees to your chest again. Good, then what you're going to do is just round your back, and you're just going to rock forward and back. Can you rock yourself up into a seated position? So you're just going to rock to a seated position just like that, okay? So, good, hopefully we got our core all warmed up here. I'm going to show you a new pose here. It's called boat. B-O-A-T, boat pose, okay? It's actually a core exercise in itself here. I'll show it to you from the side, but all you're going to do is you're going to try to actually balance on your sit bones here. So you're just going to try to go back and bring your legs up here. I got my hands on the backs of my thighs. You can always put your hands back here like this and do it this way here, or hands on the backs of your thighs. You'd like your lower leg parallel to the floor, not down here, okay? Here, you can always do this if you need to, right? Or if you want to try taking your hands off, you can take your hands off too as well. You can also try straightening your legs too as well. All these are different variations. If you want to put your hands back here like this, you can. Here. Breathe. Again, this is called boat, B-O-A-T. Again, whatever version of boat pose you'd like to do. Again, I don't know if it's better facing you or to the side, so again, here, here. If you need to rest at all, just put your feet down, take a breather, all right? You can try it again. Again, boat pose. Actually try, see this, if you can go back on your back, see if you can you rock? Can you rock yourself right up into balancing into boat pose? That's kind of fun. Try that. Again, you just kind of rock. Can you balance right in boat pose? In B-O-A-T, boat. And I say these poses, spell them out for you so you get to know these. We will have a quiz here on different poses. You just have to identify them. I'll say boat pose is one of them on the quiz. That'll be in a couple weeks. Again, whatever you'd like to do. Again, boat, B-O-A-T. Different versions, right? Whatever you can do. Good, we'll go ahead and just bring those down here, and then we're going to go onto our hands and knees. So let's just warm up our wrists. So just forward and back with your wrists just a few times. Forward and back. Good, then just go ahead and circle them in one direction. Good, other direction. Again, feel free to take a break if you need to. Obviously, if you need to go to the bathroom, go to the bathroom, and then come back here during this. Get water whenever you need it. And I say circle it in the other direction. Good, then maybe just open and close your hands a few times. Really open, spread those fingers, and then close them. Open, close. Good, maybe just your fingers. Good, then we'll just go over to our hands and knees. So this is where I use the cushion that I showed you. I'll put it here for my knees. Again, hands, you like your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath the hips here. Again, if it's better on your wrist, if it just doesn't feel good with your wrist bent back, because it is kind of a big bend in those wrists here, you can always go to your fists here if you'd like. You can even just go to your forearms here, be on your forearms and knees. That works too as well. So whatever's comfortable for you. And we're just going, I showed you this last time, I believe, is cat-cow. So we're just going to exhale up, push the back up, inhale, sway the back, that's cow. So pushing the back up is called cat, C-A-T, cat here. And then inhaling, swaying the back, cow, C-O-W, cow. Okay, and then just going back and forth. You can bring your chin towards your chest here, big exhale in cat. Inhale, sway the back. You can lift your chin if that feels good. Doesn't feel good for me, so I just kind of look forward a little bit on my mat. And then exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow. And then just going back and forth here with your own breath here. Good way to loosen up your low back. If you got any low back issues like I do, this is a great one to help loosen it up. Again, we're just kind of loosening up the low back, so you're just tilting your pelvis back and forth here by pushing your back up and then swaying your back. But if you want to involve your upper back, think about when you go to cat pose, spread your shoulder blades apart. And as you go to cow, you bring your shoulder blades together. So that's something you can add. Also, I like to just move my head around. I'll move my hips to the side. I rotate them around. So a lot of different things you can do in cat-cow. Make it your own. Do whatever feels right for you. If you need to rest at all, just go back to child's pose. Right, child's pose, just sit your hips back. You can bring your forehead to the mat. If you can't get your forehead, just stack your hands, stack your fists here, rest your forehead there. Or if you can, rest your forehead on the mat if you can. Hips back towards your heels. You'd like your feet flat on the mat if you can. Or if you need to curl your toes under, whatever's more comfortable for you. If it's better to widen your knees, you can widen your knees here in child's pose, whatever's comfortable for you. So again, anytime you want to rest in child's pose, feel free. Good, we're just going to come back to hands and knees here. You can go to cat-cow if you want some more cat-cow, feel free. But what I'm going to do is go into what I call spinal balance, or some people call it bird dog here. Spinal balance or bird dog. And that's opposite arm and leg here. So I'm going to bring my left leg back, extend my left leg back here, you can point your toe, point your heel, just as you bring it back, lift, and then think about pushing back, like you're trying to push something away from you. And then I got my left leg up, and I'll bring my right arm up. So palm could be facing down towards the mat, or turn your palm in. You can look up at that hand, look down at your mat again, whatever the neck feels like here. Just try to hold that balance. Good, we'll bring that arm and leg down. We'll try the other side, so right leg, left arm. And again, if this bothers your wrist, you can always go to your fists here. You can do this from your forearm if you'd like. If that's better, you can do it from your forearm here. So whatever is comfortable for you. Good, let's just go ahead and bring that hand down, and then we'll just go with our breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Just go with your own breath. Again, when you come up, really try to extend yourself, extend outwards. Again, if you want to go back to some cat-cow, you can. Go back to child's pose to rest anytime. Okay, let's just go ahead, back child's pose, rest. Take a breath or two. Again, if you need water anytime, feel free. Again, if you want to take your knees wider in child's pose, you can if that's more comfortable for you. Good, let's just go out of child's pose. Just lay on your stomach on your mat, just all the way down onto your stomach. And we'll bring our arms out in front of you here, just coming up onto your forearms. So we'll just kind of rise up onto your forearms here. You can slowly just start to bring those elbows back towards you. Pay attention, listen to your body on this one. What's your low back telling you here on this one? Everybody's got a little bit different flexibility in your low back. I'll say again, I got some low back issues, so this is about as high as I can go. My elbows underneath my shoulders, this is about as high as I can go for my low back. It's about as much as I can. And this is called Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose. Sphinx. S-P-H-I-N-X. Sphinx pose. S-P-H-I-N-X here. So just seeing what kind of flexibility you have in your low back today. So I know that's mine. Then what some of you, I know some of you probably have some, well, probably much more greater flexibility. You can do a really big back extension here. So that would be putting your hands on the mat and then pushing your arms all the way up to extend. I'll put my hands on my mat. Now I'm going to just push my torso. This is called a low cobra. Low cobra. But some of you might be able to push all the way up, so extend your arms all the way up for a high cobra. That would be a big back bend. Your lower body stays on the mat, but your kind of midsection will come up. You're going to extend your arms all the way up for a high cobra. Go ahead and try that if you have that flexibility. So again, that would be pushing all the way up. I'm doing what I call a low cobra. So again, you could choose to do a high cobra. Just push all the way up, extend your arms all the way up for a high cobra. Okay? So again, low cobra or high cobra, extend your arms all the way up if you'd like. And then I'm just going to push up and back, child's pose. Good, so then I'm just going to try this. We did this last time. We're practicing the sun salutation here. We're going to do, again, a kneeling plank. Engage your core. Good, lower yourself slowly to the mat. Try to lower your whole body at the same time. So you don't want to sag your back so your thighs and stomach hit first. You want your whole body to hit the mat at the same time. Good, then just come up into a low or a high cobra. Again, high cobra, push your arms, extend your arms all the way so you got a big back extension. If you want, high cobra, I'm doing low. And then push up and back, child's pose. Okay. Again, so we got, here, let me make sure my core is all tight so you can see. I'll just tuck this shirt in here. So again, child's pose, plank. Again, nice strong core. Engage your core so you don't sag your back. Here, lower yourself slowly to the mat. Coming up, lower high cobra. And then pushing up and back, child's pose. So we'll just go through this a few times. Plank. Good, lower yourself slowly to the mat. Come up low or high. Again, extend your arms for a high cobra. And then push up and back, child's pose. Good, now plank. Now I'm going to throw in what I call Chaturanga Dandasana. That's the full Sanskrit name for it. A lot of instructors just say Chaturanga. And I'm using the Sanskrit name because Chaturanga is what a yoga instructor will probably say if you go to a yoga studio or even online. You're doing an online yoga video. They'll probably call this Chaturanga. You just lower yourself slowly to the mat. Hover and hold about 90 degrees, bend at the elbow. Hover and hold. That's called Chaturanga. Chaturanga, just hover and hold. Okay, and then lower yourself. Don't fall. Just lower yourself slowly. Lower high cobra. Good, push up and back, child's pose. Good, so we'll try that a few times. Here we go. Plank. Kneeling plank. Kneeling chaturanga. Good. All the way down, lower high cobra. Again, I'm doing low. Push up and back, child's pose. Good, we got plank. Good, chaturanga. Good, coming all the way down the mat, lower high cobra. And push up and back, child's pose. Good, breathing is inhale to kneeling plank, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up into a lower high cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. Good, inhale, plank, kneeling plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale up into lower high cobra. Exhale, back, child's pose. Again, plank, chaturanga. Good, up to a lower high cobra. Good, pushing up and back, child's pose. Good, plank. Now we can always throw in some yoga push-ups. You want to work a little bit of upper body strength. There is some strength in yoga. So if you want to work your upper body strength, just go chaturanga, back to plank. So chaturanga, back to plank. Chaturanga, back to plank. You can do that as many times as you want. Go back, child's pose to rest. Or go through the whole vinyasa. Plank, chaturanga, lower high cobra, and push back, child's pose. Good, so you can try that on your own. Again, feel free to throw in a chaturanga, back to plank, yoga push-up. Try to keep your elbows in if you can. Elbows should be kind of tucked into your sides, not flared out. You don't want to flare your elbows out. Keep them tucked in if you can when you do these. Again, plank, chaturanga, good lower high cobra, good push up and back, child's pose. Good, then we'll practice going in and out from child's pose to a kneeling lunge. So I'm back here, I'm in a child's pose. I'm just going to bring my right leg forward, a kneeling lunge, So on a kneeling lunge, your hands can be wherever you'd like. Most of the time it's overhead, but again, wherever you'd like here. You like that knee, the knee that's on the mat, behind the hip if you can, to get a good stretch of your hip flexor. So if it's here like this, you'd like to maybe just step out a little bit more. You just don't want that front knee going past your toes too much. Just so it's easier on your knee. Good, and then just practice going back to a child's pose. So if you need to put your hands on the mat to go back, or I like to just kind of step back, put my hands forward into extended child's pose, and then I'll bring my left leg, my other leg forward, just coming up, kneeling lunge. Good, then I'm going to just step back, child's pose. And just try that a couple times on either side, just coming out to a kneeling lunge. Good, stepping back, child's pose. And we're practicing for the sun salutation. Other knee. Okay, now we're going to practice. I did this in my class video last week, is downward facing dog. Maybe I'll explain it just a little bit more here. So I've emphasized really spreading your hands, fingers nice and wide here. So you really want to do that when you go up into downward facing dog. Really push with those hands. Your hands can be straight ahead, or if you want, you could turn them out just slightly. So again, they would be straight ahead on the mat, or if you want, you could turn them out slightly if that's more comfortable on the wrists. So this can be a little bit tough on the wrist here. So we'll give it a shot. I'll show you a modification. If you can't do it from your hands, you can do it from your forearms. I'll show you a modification here. Or again, you can just do child's pose if you'd like. So what you're going to do is, I'm going to extended child's pose, spread my fingers nice and wide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to curl my toes under, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift my knees up, keep my balls of my feet, my heels are up off the mat, my knees are bent quite a bit. I got a pretty big bend in my knees. And what that helps me to do is to push my butt up in the air, and then my back is nice and flat. And then what I'm doing is I'm really pushing with my hands to push my shoulders back. My head just goes between my upper arms here. And then this is kind of a modified, or a downward facing dog, just with my heels raised and my knees bent. Okay? So you can try that. And then what I like to do when I'm up into a down dog for the first time is I like to what I call walk the dog. I'll push a heel down and then extend that leg. I lift that heel, I push my other heel down, extend that leg, and then I just go back and forth, pushing my heels into the mat, extending my leg here, or straightening my leg to kind of warm up my calves a little bit, okay? So again, I'm really pushing with my hands here, pushing my shoulders. My shoulders are back well behind my hands, and I'm just walking the dog here. And I'll say most of my weight, especially my weight of my hips, are back towards my feet. So, and then what you can do is try to push both heels into the mat, straighten the legs here, downward facing dog. Again, I'm really pushing with those hands and pushing back those heels towards the mat here. So my back is straight, my butt's up in the air, my head is between my upper arms, really pushing with my hands. And I'll say, believe it or not, downward facing dog is a resting pose. I know it may not feel like that, but it is. If you get the hang of it, it can be a resting pose. So just going off of when I teach this in the classroom and I'm watching people do downward facing dog, obviously I can't see you at home doing this, but I'm going to assume just a couple things here. The biggest thing I see with down dog is people do this. When they go up, they're here like this, okay? So I always ask this question in class, what's stronger, your upper body or your lower body? And hopefully you know your lower body, your legs are a lot stronger than your upper body. You can handle more weight. That's why we have legs. We stand on our legs and that's right because it can withstand a lot more weight. We don't stand on our hands because that can't take as much weight, right? So we'd like to distribute our body weight more towards our feet, our legs, so our legs take most of the weight here. When I am like this, you can probably see, where do you think most of my weight is? Forward to my hands or back towards my feet? And hopefully you can see, I mean, if I'm here like this, most of my weight is forward because my shoulders are right above my hands. Most of my weight is forward. I can feel it. I can feel it in my hands and my shoulders. Most of my weight here is forward. So what do I need to do? Look, all you need to do, you don't need to move your hands or your feet. All you need to do is just watch, push, and look at my shoulders go back. Look, I'm just pushing the weight of my hips back towards my feet. So that's all I did. Here, you can adjust your feet a little bit if you need it, but not much. So it goes from here, where my weight's all forward, to here, where the weight of my hips now is back towards my feet. So just try that. If you're here like this, your head is in front of your arms, all you need to do is just push back here for down dog, okay? Just try that, see if that helps, okay? Again, you can walk the dog here. Again, I call it walk the dog because this is called downward facing dog. Trying to push my heels into the mat here, downward facing dog, okay? Again, if it's too much for you, you can always do child's pose, or if it's too much for your wrists at this point, what you can do is, it's a modification, it's actually called dolphin pose, and what you do is you're on your forearms here, and then what I'll do is I'll push with my forearms, pushing my shoulders back, and then it's just from my forearms now. So my forearms are on the mat, I'm pushing back here. It looks like down dog, but it's from my forearms, and this is called dolphin pose, dolphin pose. Might put a bit of a stretch on your shoulders here, but could be definitely easier on your wrists. So you can try that if that is better for you, okay? So again, that's called dolphin pose, okay? And again, you can turn your hands, so my hands are straight ahead, but you can always turn your hands just a little bit out, like that, if it's more comfortable doing down dog. You can kind of play with it. Just make sure your entire hand is on the mat. I can't emphasize that enough. You're not just your fingers. Don't just push with the heel of your hand. Your entire hand is on the mat. You're pushing with your entire hand, pushing your hips back towards your feet, okay? So let's try down dog again, pushing the heels into the mat, and then what you do is down dog to a full plank if you can. Now, if that's too much, just drop your knees, okay? Just drop your knees. So again, I'm going to go down dog to a full plank. And again, notice I don't move my hands and feet too much. You shouldn't have to. Just try that a few times. Engage your core, don't sag your back, and then push back to down dog. Go down dog to plank. Again, engage your core, push back to down dog. Again, if that's too much, just go down dog to plank, just drop your knees. And then look, I can push back to down dog just from my knees. I'll push back on the balls of my feet, just push back to down dog if you want. Okay? So down dog to plank. Again, drop your knees if you need to. Back to down dog. Good, so the full vinyasa is this here. So we go down dog to plank. Again, drop your knees if you need to. Or full chaturanga, or drop your knees. Okay, full chaturanga, your knees are off. Good, then all the way down, lower high cobra. Good, now push up from your knees or from your feet. So if you want to push up from your knees, go to down dog like that. You can, or if you want to push up from your feet, go to down dog, okay? So the full vinyasa is down dog, full plank. Again, drop to your knees if you need to, okay? Full or kneeling chaturanga. Good lower high cobra. Good push up from your knees or from your feet to down dog. Okay? Again, down dog, plank. Drop your knees if you need to. Chaturanga. Good up to lower high cobra. Good push up and back. Child's pose. Good, so that's like the full vinyasa here. Plank, down dog to plank, chaturanga. You can always do a yoga push up, a full one if you want. Again, from your knees if you want. Lower high cobra, push up and back, child's pose. Or down dog, right? You always got choices here. Full plank, kneeling plank. Full chaturanga, kneeling chaturanga. Low cobra, high cobra. Okay? Push up from your knees, from your feet to child's pose or down dog. Okay? Those are the choices you have here. If you're doing it from your forearms, dolphin pose, you can just do this, dolphin. Good. Go to dolphin plank, this is called. Drop to your knees if you need to. Go down, low cobra, high cobra. And then go to your forearms again, down dog, or dolphin I should say, dolphin. So you can do it that way here, just like that. Come down, lower high cobra. Or you can just stay sphinx pose here, and then go to dolphin pose. Maybe just sphinx, just so you don't have to move your hands too much. So you can do it that way. So there are modifications. Do what feels right for you, okay? When we do the sun salutation, which we're going to get to. We're getting to that, okay? So one thing I want to practice before we do the sun salutation here is just going from down dog to a full lunge. So what you're going to need to do is down dog. So back to down dog. Now we practice this kneeling, but we're going to do a full lunge. So just practice bringing your left leg forward, coming to a full lunge. Hands go on your hips, heart center I call it. Arms out here or arms up here, whatever you like. Again, you don't have to lunge quite back so much if you don't want to. Whatever feels right for you for a full lunge. Good, then hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog if you can. Step back, down dog. Now try the other leg. So you can just simply bring your leg forward. Some people like to extend that leg up and then sweep it forward. Here, coming up to a lunge. So just practice, lunge. Good. Hands on the mat, step back, down dog. Good. The other leg coming to a lunge. Oops. Good. Down dog. Good. Just practice that you can get from down dog to a full lunge, right? Good, let's go ahead, when back into down dog, let's just go ahead and walk your feet forward. Or hands to your feet, feet to your hands, just coming to a forward fold. Okay, so forward fold, you're just going to let your head hang, arms hang, forward fold. Slight bend in your knees. Good, then we're just going to take your hands to your shins. Just bring them up towards your knees here. Once they get to your knees, bring your hands to your sides and coming to a flat back. So make sure your back is nice and flat. You got to kind of stick that butt back here so you have a nice flat back. I don't want to see a rounded back. We don't want that. Okay, see my back's all rounded here. I don't want that. So I just need to shift my hips back here, flatten my back. Good, then we'll just go ahead and bring your hands back down. Release your head back, low back, forward fold. So just releasing back down, forward fold. Good, we'll inhale back up. Flat back. Good, I'm going to hinge from my hips all the way up to extended mountain. Good, and then when I go down, I'm going to swan dive. So my arms are going to go out to my side, And then I'm going to hinge from my hips, coming to flat back first, and then forward fold. Good, then I'm just going to come back to flat back. Good, arms come out to the sides, that's called reverse swan dive, coming all the way up. So that's extended mountain. Good, swan dive back down to a flat back, all the way down. Good, inhaling back up. You do not need to be moving on your mat like I am, just face one direction. I'm just doing it so you can see kind of what should be done, but just face one way in your mat and you do that, okay? I'm just doing it so you can kind of see what it looks like from the side. So again, flat back, good, all the way up. And then just what swan dive looks like down here, and then you come down all the way down. Good, inhaling all the way up. Good, exhaling all the way down. Good, inhaling up. Good, then I think I showed you this too, is sitting back chair pose. So we're just going to sit the hips back first, bend your knees, chair pose. Good, so it's inhale up, sit the hips back first, bend your knees, weight goes back onto your heels, okay, chair pose. So inhale up, good. Knees and feet straight ahead, down to chair pose. Good. Inhale up. Good. Exhale, chair. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Good. If you want to work your shoulders, watch my arms. So inhale up, and then watch my arms come to the sides, and then back up. And then you can bring your arms up as high as you'd like. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. And if you want to get more work on your legs, just bend your knees more, right? Sit down a little bit further. If you don't, just don't go down so far. Do a little chair. But if you want to go down further, it's a bigger chair, okay? So inhale up. Exhale, chair. Good. Then let's try this. Inhale up. Good. Swan dive all the way down. Forward fold. Good, inhale up halfway, flat back. Exhale back down, forward fold. Good, inhale all the way up. And exhale, chair pose. Good, inhale up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good, inhale up halfway. Good, exhale down. Good, inhale all the way up. And exhale, chair pose. Good, inhale up. Good, exhale, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Good, inhale up halfway. Good, exhale down. Good, inhale all the way up. And exhale, chair pose. Good, one more time. Inhale up. Good, swan dive all the way down, forward fold. Good, inhale up halfway. Good, exhale down. Good, inhale all the way up. And exhale, chair pose. Good, then just come to mountain, a standing pose. Maybe just shake it out a little bit. Get a little bit of water if you need it, okay? I just need a little bit. Because we're all ready to do some sun salutations. So we'll do some modified sun salutations and then the full one. And if you go on the home page on Canvas, there's handouts. Click on sun salutations. It'll take you to different handouts, the modified, the full version, and then a combination of the modified and full version, okay? Just all the sequence of poses in order. There's 14 of them in order, okay? So just come to the top of your mat. If you're not there already, just top of your mat. Again, you would just face one direction. I'm going to turn as I go, but you don't need to. Just face one direction. I just do it so you can kind of see what it looks like. So you'd be at the top of your mat, mountain pose. Okay? So we're going to inhale up, extended mountain, swan dive down, forward fold. Okay? Take your right foot back for a kneeling lunge. So just step back that right foot for a kneeling lunge. Again, we've practiced all this already. Good. So a kneeling lunge. to child's pose. So do you want to put your hands on the mat? Do you want to just step back? I just like to step back. I put my hands forward for extended child's pose. Then I'm going to come to a kneeling plank. Again, we've practiced this already. Good, to a kneeling chaturanga. Good, then I'm coming all the way down, lower high cobra. You choose whatever you'd like. I do a low. You can do a high if you want. Good, then I'm going to push up and back, child's pose. Good, I'm going to bring my right leg forward now. Because I put my right leg back, now right leg forward, so I lunge to the other side, kneeling lunge. Good, then I'm going to bring my hands to the mat. I'm going to step forward here to forward fold. Good, I reverse swan dive all the way up, extended mountain. And then I'm just going to exhale down to chair pose. Okay. Now we would end in mountain, but I'm going to skip mountain, go right to extended mountain because we're going to do another one here. So here we go. Inhale up, extended mountain. Let's do it from the other side. Good. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good. Taking your left foot back this time for a kneeling lunge. Left foot back, kneeling lunge. Good. Hands to the mat or step back, child's pose. Good. Kneeling plank. Good. Kneeling chaturanga. Good. Coming all the way down, lifting up to lower high cobra, your choice. Good. Pushing up and back, child's pose. Again, since I put my left leg back, my left leg is going to go forward, so I lunge to each side. Good, and then hands to the mat, step forward, forward fold. Good, reverse swan dive up into extended mountain. And exhale, chair pose. Good, now I'm going to do another one. Inhale up. Now I'm going to do a full one now. Full one. Good. Extended mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Okay. Good, now the right foot goes back. You could do a kneeling lunge, which we just did, or if you'd like, a full lunge. So that's the full version is a full lunge if you want. Full lunge. So this would be the full version of a sun salutation here. Then my hands are going to go to the mat. I'm going to step back into downward facing dog. Or you can always do child's pose. That's an option, child's pose, which we just did. Good, down dog to a full plank or drop to your knees for a kneeling plank. You can always drop to your knees if you want, or a full plank. Good, full or kneeling chaturanga. Good, up to a lower high cobra. I do a low, you can always do a high. Good, push up from your knees or from your feet to downward facing dog. Good, so my right leg went back, so my right leg now is going to go forward for a full lunge. Good, then I'm going to step forward, forward fold. Good, reverse swan dive up into extended mountain. And exhale, chair pose. Good, we'll try that again. Remember, you can always do some modified versions of it too as well. So here we go. Inhale up, extended mountain. Good, swan dive down to forward fold. Good, taking your left foot back, full lunge or kneeling lunge. Left foot back, full lunge or kneeling lunge. Good, I'm just holding this for a little bit longer this time here. So again, you can do this as fast or as slow as you'd like. I'm just holding a little bit longer. So good, now I'm going to bring my hands to the mat, step back, down dog, or you can always do child's pose. Down dog or child's pose. Good, then plank or kneeling plank. Again, you can always drop to your knees for a kneeling plank if you'd like. Again, engage your core. Good, then drop to your knees if you need to for a chaturanga or a full one. Just try to hover and hold it if you can. Good, then we'll lower ourselves slowly to the mat, lower high cobra. Again, push up from your knees or from your feet to downward facing dog or child's pose. Good, bring the left leg forward now for a full lunge or kneeling lunge. Full or kneeling lunge. Good, stepping forward to forward fold. Good, reverse swan dive up into extended mountain. And exhale, chair pose. Good, and then we'll just come to mountain. Good, shake it out. Good, get some water if you need it. Take a breath or two here. So that's the full sun salutation. We did a modified or a full version there, okay? Again, there's handouts on the home page. Look under sun salutation of this entire sequence of poses, okay? Okay, so that's the sun salutation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some warrior poses. These are very popular in yoga. You might have even seen some pictures of them. If you do go to yoga studio or yoga videos online, they might do some warriors. Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and then we'll do reverse warrior today. Okay, so I'll just walk you through them. Okay, so again, just stand at the front of your mat, mountain pose. So we're just standing in the front of our mat, mountain pose. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my right leg back here. So my heel is on the mat. So my right heel is on the mat. My foot is pointed forward or maybe angled out a little bit. I bend my front knee. So if I was going to do a lunge, I would step back and my heel is up off the mat. That's a lunge. But for this Warrior 1, my heel is on the mat. So I push my heel. I can't step back as far because I want my heel on the mat. My leg is straight. But again, if you need to point your toe out a little bit, that's fine. Or foot out a little bit, that's fine. You just like your hip bones, your hips pointed straight ahead. We don't want to turn our hips yet. So we're just going to hip bones straight ahead. My front knee is bent, back leg is straight. I'm actually pushing that heel into the mat. And then you can put your hands just like a lunge on your hips, heart center here, arms out like this, like cactus arms I call it. Or arms up overhead is usually how you'll see Warrior 1. So again, this is called Warrior 1. Warrior 1. And you want to stand nice and tall like a warrior here, just staring straight out in front of you. Again, pushing that back heel into the mat. That is called Warrior 1. Warrior 1 here. And these poses, we just kind of stand and hold for a little bit. Just make sure you're breathing here. Good, standing nice and tall like a warrior. Okay. Now I'm going to go from Warrior 1 to Warrior 2. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back foot. I'm going to step back and turn my foot out. So all I'm going to do is I step back and my foot turns out. My back foot, the back part of my edge of my foot is parallel to the edge of my mat here. So I just opened up my hip. Now my hip bones are actually opened up here. My front knee though stayed straight ahead. Front knee and front foot stayed straight ahead. Okay. So I'm opening up the hips. I'm actually kind of pushing with that back foot too as well. And then my arms come parallel to the floor. So arms parallel to the floor. And then you usually just gaze through that front hand. So I'm just gazing through that front hand here, standing nice and tall like a warrior. So this is called Warrior 2. Warrior 2. Again, if you need to adjust your feet at all, you can. But again, you're pushing with that back foot. Back leg is straight. Front knee is bent. Sometimes that knee kind of buckles in a little bit. Try not to let that happen. That knee straight ahead, foot straight ahead. Again, standing nice and tall. You're not leaning back or forward. Staying nice and tall. Arms are nice and strong. You're not crunching up with your shoulders though. Relax the shoulders back and down here. Just staring straight ahead. I kind of stare off in the distance through that middle finger here, standing nice and tall like a warrior. Warrior 2. Again, warrior 2. Okay? Good, then we'll just go into reverse warrior. What I like to do with reverse warrior, I reach forward with the front hand, I turn the palm up, and then I'm just going to really reach up high here with that left hand, right? So I'm reaching up high with the left hand, my right hand goes down my back leg, reverse warrior, or what I like to do with the back arm is I put it behind my back, feels more comfortable for me. Again, you can look up at that hand. If you want, you can look straight ahead. Whatever's comfortable for you. So this is called reverse warrior. Reverse warrior. Or some people call it crescent warrior. And again, we hold these, our feet have not changed from warrior 2. Reverse warrior legs are the same as warrior 2 here. Good, we'll just come back to warrior 2. Good, just go ahead and step forward to the front of your mat. Mountain pose, kind of shake it out there. Good, and then we'll try the other side. I'll walk you through it. So this time, I'm going to take we took our right foot back. This time, left foot back, warrior 1. So I'm just going to step back the left foot. Again, one side might feel different than the other. I'm going to just angle my foot out a little bit. It's more comfortable for me, but my hips pointed straight ahead. Front knee is bent. Foot is straight ahead, front foot. Pushing that back heel into the mat here, and then I'm just going to lift my arms up overhead. Again, this is warrior 1. Warrior 1. Good, just standing nice and tall like a warrior. Good, warrior 1 to warrior 2. Again, maybe a little wider stance. Step back with that back foot. Turn the hips out. The back foot, edge of your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Front foot straight ahead. Front knee straight ahead. Again, arms parallel to the floor. Just, again, gazing off into the distance here. Standing nice and tall here. Warrior 2. Again, warrior 2. Good, so our legs are not going to change for reverse warrior or crescent warrior. So I'm going to reach forward, front hand, palm comes up, and now I'm going to just really reach up high. So reach up high before you start reaching back. It's not so much a back bend, but really reach up high. Again, back arm down the leg, or again, I like to bring it behind my back, just feels more comfortable for me. And you can look up at that hand, you can look straight ahead, whatever's comfortable for you. So again, this is reverse warrior, reverse warrior. Good, just coming back to warrior 2. Good, just stepping forward to the front of your mat, mountain pose, and just shake it out a little bit. Good, so I'll go through that one more time here, just going through those 3 poses here. So we'll go through a little flow of vinyasa here. So just standing at the front of your mat, mountain pose. Here, just inhale up. Good, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good, just take the right foot back, step back, warrior 1. So just take the right foot back. Can you step back? Warrior 1. Again, pushing the back heel into the mat, front knee is bent. Back leg is straight, warrior 1. Standing nice and tall like a warrior. Good, warrior 1 to warrior 2. We'll just step back the back foot here, warrior 2. Good, standing nice and tall, feeling confident like a warrior. Feeling confident, whatever you have to do today, you're going to get it done because you feel confident as a warrior here. Good, now reverse warrior, we're going to reach forward, palm comes up, really reaching up high. Reverse warrior. Again, back arm down the leg or behind the back Here, reverse warrior. Good, coming back to warrior 2. Good, stepping forward the front of your mat to mountain pose. Good, we'll inhale up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good, stepping back with the light left foot here, warrior 1. Good, standing nice and tall like a warrior. Feeling nice and confident like a warrior. Good, warrior 1 to warrior 2. Good. I always like these warrior poses, makes me feel confident, standing nice and strong here like a warrior, feeling confident. I can accomplish whatever I want to accomplish for the day here. I'm going to be able to do it. Good. Reverse warrior, reach forward, palm comes up, really reaching up high, reverse warrior. Good, coming back to warrior 2. Good, stepping forward the front of your mat, mountain pose, and just shake it out. All right, very good, very good. Good, so those are the warriors. So warrior 1, warrior 2, reverse warrior. So some new poses you've learned today. So again, warrior 1, warrior 2, reverse or crescent warrior, okay? So that's all the work we're going to do today. Let's just slow it down here. We'll do a few kind of stretchy type poses, getting kind of back to our breath, relaxing here for the final relaxation, Shavasana, corpse pose it's called. So we'll get there. So inhale up, exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Good, let's just go ahead and step back, child's pose. Step back and do child's pose. Good, so child's pose, just let's go ahead and push your arms out in front of you, extended child's pose. What I'm going to do is just, I'm going to walk my hands over to the right. So I'm really going to reach with that left arm just to stretch out my left side a little bit here. And then I'll go to the right, or the left side, I'm sorry, walk my hands over to the other side, really reaching with my right arm, stretching out my right side. Good, just coming back to center. Good, then just go ahead and come out of child's pose, roll over onto your back here. Good, we can just bring your knees to your chest. Oh, and if you, we use this, the first week is a towel, a strap, a belt, something you can use here. I've got again a towel will work. This is a yoga strap is something here, but all we're going to do, again, you can put a towel I'm going to bring my left knee to my chest, extend my right leg here, and then I'm going to just put a towel around my foot. Or again, if you have a strap or a belt, something like that, you can go ahead and use that here, whatever kind of works for you. So we're going to extend the left leg up in the air and just pull it towards us. That right leg can be extended out, or if it's more comfortable to bend the right knee, put the right foot on the floor, you can do something like that. So we're just stretching the back hamstring here. Again, you just pull that leg towards you, just try to relax. And again, we use this strap so we can rest your head on the mat. If you want to use a pillow for your head, you can. Maybe I'll use this yoga block again. That's more comfortable. Just relaxing, getting back to your breath here. Good. If you want to get a little different spot in your hamstring, just take your left foot. Again, I'm going to have my left foot up in the air, just going to bring it across my body just a little bit, not too much. I don't want the hip coming off the mat. I'm just going to stretch it in a different spot here. And hopefully you got some nice soft music on, something relaxing here you can listen to would be good. Okay, then what we're going to do, I didn't do this last time, is we're going to try to open up the hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my towel or a strap, belt, whatever you have, I'm going to put it in my left hand, and I'm going to bring my left leg out to the left here. Hopefully you got enough space if you need to kind of move, so you got enough space to bring your leg out to your side. So I'm just going to bring my leg out to the side here and go down as far as you can. You can pull on that towel if you need to reach with the right hand, the other hand to help, you can. And you're just letting that leg all the way out and then pulling it towards you here. Again, do whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, just relax and breathe. As I relax, I can kind of feel my leg get lower and lower towards the floor. We'll go ahead and bring that leg back to center here. Okay, let's just pull it towards us one more time. Good, I'm going to bend that left knee here, bringing the knee to the chest, taking the strap off my left foot. Good, and then here, I'm just going to switch ends because I got a wall behind me, just so I can stick my right leg out. So we're going to do the right leg down here, right knee to chest, and then the strap, foot or towel, whatever, around your foot. So relax, breathe. Okay, we'll bring that left or right foot across your body just a little bit across your body to the left. Just feel it in a different spot in your hamstring here. Okay, then I'm just going to grab it in my right hand here, and then I'm going to bring my right leg out to the right here. Okay, just relax, breathe. Good, we'll just come back to center. Good, pull the right leg into us just a little bit. One more time here. Good, we'll go ahead and bend that right knee, take the strap off here. Good, just go ahead and bend the right knee so the right foot is on the mat here. I think we did this before. Here, we'll just go ahead and cross our left leg onto our right thigh, right above your right knee. So left ankle, right above your right thigh, or right knee on the right thigh, I should say. And then let's go ahead and bring that right foot up off the mat. So again, if you want to, make sure you can rest your head on the mat. And you could maybe take your hand, left hand, through that hole created by your left leg being crossed, grab the back of your right thigh here. If you have trouble doing that, you can always use the strap or towel, put it between that, around that leg, the right leg, and just pull it towards you. Again, you'd like to be able to rest your head on the mat. If you're bringing your head off the mat, yeah, just use a strap or towel here. Some of you might be able to go up and grab the knee as well. If I do that, my head has to come off. Yeah, even more. I'll grab the back of my thigh. But again, use a towel strap. If you can't get your hands around that thigh, you can use a strap towel. Just relax, breathe. Good, we'll go ahead and release that leg, uncross the leg. We'll try the other side. So right leg onto the left. Bring the left foot up off the mat. Again, right hand, right arm through that hole created by your right leg being crossed. You can release that leg, uncross the legs here. Let's go ahead and bring both knees to your chest here. We'll bring our chin to our chest. Just curling up into a ball, giving yourself a big hug. Good, just relaxing your head to the mat. Again, if you want a pillow, feel free. If you like lying butterfly, I showed you that last time here. We kind of did inner thighs with extending our leg out, but if you'd like, you can go into lying butterfly, soles of your feet together, or if you want to spend more time in just final relaxation, shavasana, extend your legs all the way out. If you're in lying butterfly, I'll give you a cue here in about a minute to extend your legs out. Again, do it if you feel comfortable. If you want to do lying butterfly, you can. Just soles your feet together, knees are out to the side, just letting your knees completely relax, arms out in a nice, comfortable, relaxed position. Or if you want to spend more time, final relaxation, corpse pose, shavasana, just extend your legs all the way out.
If you are in lying butterfly, just go and extend your legs all the way up, down your mat. Letting those legs completely relax. Your feet should just fall out to the sides. Nice, relaxed, comfortable position. Find a nice, comfortable position for your arms out to the sides. Let your arms relax. Head's nice and relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. Just letting yourself sink into your mat here. Again, final relaxation. Corpse pose, it's called. Shavasana is a Sanskrit name for it. Just getting back to your breath, letting yourself completely relax, letting yourself go. Last few minutes of your practice. So you can slowly just go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Maybe just going through and touching your fingertips to your thumb, just back and forth through your fingers, touching into your thumb. Maybe just rolling your wrists around, ankles around a little bit. And then just slowly rocking your head side to side, nice and slow. And then whenever you're ready, just rolling over onto your side, whatever side you prefer. Support your head with your arm there, arm just out. And just like to have you take this moment here, take in how you're feeling. My hope is that it's always a bit more relaxed, at ease, at peace than when you began your practice. See if you can just continue this feeling on throughout the rest of your day, evening. Good. Whenever you feel like you got a hold of the feeling here, good. Just push yourself up, seated position, whatever is comfortable for you. Again, legs are crossed, or legs, I prefer my legs out, just sitting up nice and tall. Here, big inhale up. Good, exhale down. Good, big inhale up. Exhale down. Good, big inhale up. Exhale down. Good, one more time. Big inhale up. Exhale down. Well, as always, thank you for joining me for this yoga practice today or this evening, whenever you're doing this yoga practice. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your week, and we'll catch you on the next yoga practice. Have a good one. Namaste.